Mark Hall-Patton, and we're out here at the Clark County Museum. Today we're in the wedding chapel. Now you might wonder why we'd have a wedding chapel at the museum, but we have one because 5% of all the weddings in the United States every year happen in Clark County. So it's part of our industrial base. But one of the things that we do with all of our buildings out here is we always make changes inside. So if you've been out to the museum and it was 3 or 4 months ago, you'll see something new when you come out again. Behind me you can see we have various couples getting married. Over the course of the year, the outfits will change, the time periods will change of the outfits, so there's always something to be seen. But we put in a new case today that I want to show you. It talks about not just the dress, but everything else that went along with a wedding dress. So let's take a walk over here. So as you come into the building, off to one side we have this little alcove. And this is our interpretive area. It's not an area that directly goes along with what you see in the main part of the chapel, but it allows us to show wedding dresses and wedding customs from other time periods. In this case, this is a 1902 wedding dress. If you notice, it's not white. Wedding dresses weren't always white. There were many other colors. In this case, more of a sort of a taupey beige, something like that. But you didn't have just the dress. Normally when we see a wedding dress, we see the outer dress, but there was a lot more that went with it, especially at this time. And you can see these other parts right next to it. We have the chemise and pantaloons, that was the undergarments. We have, you see what looks like a little pillow in there. That's actually a small bustle. This was the end of the bustle period, and you would have that under the back side of the dress to give you the S curve that was all the fashion at that time. You have the stockings here. The stockings are not silk, they are cotton, much more common at that time. And we have the nosegay. A nosegay is a very small bouquet that just smells good, and it's just something that you hold up in front of your face. And we have the small bag that you would carry, the kid gloves, and you had to have gloves. And if you notice in the frame, we have a piece of silk there and some lace. That was on a bodice piece right in here, but it's been removed because it's too fragile. If you notice around the edges, it's beginning to break down. And you see that quite often in silk from this time period. And you might think, well, that's just because it's old silk. That's not the case. In fact, at this time period, they would use metallic salts in the silk in order to get it to hang correctly. And those metallic salts eventually start cutting the silk along the fiber line, so that when you see how that is beginning to fall apart, it tends to be in parallel lines. And you'll see this a lot of times if you have old silks at home. You'll see this happen with what you have. And it's because of how the silk was treated. So we are showing all of this. When you come out to the museum, you can see not just the wedding dress itself, but everything that went along with it. It was quite the deal to get married in 1902. And this was right before Las Vegas got its start in 1905. So this would have been the type of dress that would have been used well into the early years of Las Vegas. Now remember, the museum is open 7 days a week, 9 to 4:30. It's only $2 a head. We've got 30 acres out here, 20 restored buildings, a ghost town, walking trails, nature areas. There's lots to see and do here. It is the best place in the valley to learn about our heritage, and I hope you'll come out and see us.